From mid-January to the end of February of 2024, we took another of our Snowbird adventures to escape the Ohio winter. This time we headed to Florida for warmth and sunshine. We had a bunch of space-related adventures during our visit to Florida. We experienced our first rocket launch. In addition, we stayed at the Astronomy Campground in Kissimmee Prairie State Park.
From our camp at Kissimmee State Park, we drove to Canaveral National Seashore to explore the area. We were also hoping to see a rocket launch in the early evening that day.
So cold.
We love watching sandpipers running in the waves. It's one of our favorite things to do.
From the beach area, we could see the launch towers of Kennedy Space Center. But to drive there, we had to backtrack and follow the Atlantic coastline for about an hour.
Right. Yeah.
We enjoyed the Kennedy Space Center, especially the Astronaut Hall of Fame and the memorial. Much of the rest of the visitor center is targeted to kids, so it didn't do as much for us. We also enjoyed the IMAX movie about the James Webb Space Telescope images.
We arrived at the center a little bit late, so we missed all the tours that take us out to launch pads, something to do in the future. On our travel day, when we left Kissimmee State Park to head to our Airbnb and homestead, we stopped in Titusville to watch a rocket launch that was scheduled for 12:10 p.m.
Oh, there it goes. Wow.
We had hoped to see a launch the day we went to Kennedy Space Center, but it looked like it had been rescheduled according to the Space Coast website. Turns out the launch happened while we were eating dinner in Titusville and we missed it. So catching this one was really important to us. We could not have asked for a better situation. It was a beautiful day. We arrived about 10 minutes before the launch at a park with a small crowd and plenty of places to sit. This was also a SpaceX launch where the booster returned to the landing pad at Kennedy Space Center.
There it is. Wow. I got it. You happy?
Yes.
Not only did you get to see it go up, you got to see it come down. That was so cool.
We booked 7 nights at the Astrophotography Campground at Kissimmee Prairie State Park, coinciding with the new moon.
I'm trying to get John to come and eat.
This is a registered dark site for astronomers and astrophotographers. We had to follow the red light district rules that apply to star parties.
He's still not gonna come eat.
We set up our gear each night and captured amazing images of deep sky objects like galaxies and nebulae, skyscapes, and night lapses.
During the day, we played with our gear, went on side trips, and saw lots of wildlife. One day, a helicopter circled the camp and landed in the parking lot next to us. The helicopter returned a number of times that day and visited again multiple times the next day. We learned later that this team was hunting feral pigs in the park and that this was their chosen refueling spot. Throughout our stay at Kissimmee, we had great neighbors, especially our first 4 nights. We met John, Michael, and Dean on our first night. John was managing 2 powerful rigs each night and tasking them with multiple deep sky objects. It was great to meet others who shared this hobby so passionately. It was also great to hear suggestions and ideas from someone with more experience. We also met folks who were observing with rented telescopes, just their eyes, and binoculars. We met a few folks who were also capturing the night sky in long exposure shots, going for breadth over depth. This was a very special stay in a very special place. We plan to return.
As the moon returned to full, we traveled to Gamble Rogers Memorial State Park. The local park volunteers hold a sort of ranger talk the night of each full moon. We joined them for a perfect night, the first one they'd had in months. After learning a bit about the moon, we headed to the nearby boardwalk above the beach to catch the full moon rising over the Atlantic Ocean. We captured the moon in its glory over the ocean for a few nights during our stay there.
Experiences like this connect us to the universe in a very personal way. We are grateful for these opportunities. Tomoka and Gamble Rogers were part of our space adventures, but we visited a number of other spots along the Atlantic coast. Let us show you what we found next time.